Sorry, it's been a while. Well, actually, to you, you don't know, but I've also been temporarily blocked on YouTube because I put up a video. I mentioned it, and I didn't know I was completely blocked, so I can't even put anything. I can't even post anything. Um, I feel like there's always like so much to talk about when I pregame, and then I forget about it. For all I know, this battery's just gonna also fail. Another day here. They're doing a lot of work. This hammer's being dropped and everything. They finished some sort of preliminary. Well, it looked like they did a lot of work in my area, so I'm kind of eager to get back here to set up something. I want to take this room that I have to the side and make it into a gallery. And I almost thinking that I want to bring my other friends' work here to fill the gallery space, almost like create my own mini gallery here. Um, what's kind of funny, I mean, it's trying to just get my ducks in a row while I talk. Um, what I was going to do as a video before around either Saturday or Sunday, because I was really, really down all week. Like I was going well. I was pretty okay, as well as to be expected. And then Tuesday, for no real reason, my mood crashed completely. And then it kept crashing and crashing and crashing until I hit Saturday. And then went to a friend's show, tried to have just an average amount of drinks, and then it all just, like everything came crashing down. Um, I was sick. It was not good. And now I feel like I'm back at square one, and try to get back in the sleep and all that. It just was. I tried to backdoor some sort of moderation. Guess what? There is no backdoor. There is no cheat code. So I'm back to square one here. And the video that I was going to make on over the weekend was going to be a very dark one. It was going to be a terrible one. And that had nothing to do with drinking, had nothing to do with anything. And now I'm not, because I don't even want to talk about it. But, I was ready set to do a much, much different recording. But then everything just went haywire, and so, like, whatever. Now it's just, you have an event, and it just changes the course. And I know it's like everything sounds like so ambiguous. Like, what the hell are you talking about, man? I don't want to talk about what I'm talking about. I just want to just say that these things are happening without even, like, me, like, imbibing in anything. Like, these things are happening regardless. My mood shifts like on a like an axis, and just because I try to leave it on the doorstep of, like, okay, well, you had had too many drinks, and then your hormones or whatever, and then no, it had nothing to do with anything. It just had everything to do with, just like the sky behind me. Some days it's sunny and some days it's dark. And then when it gets dark, it gets really dark. That you can confuse day for night. And that's upsetting. So now I'm trying to restart the engine. Now I feel like I'm back at square one again. And because of whatever happened, because like ironically it reset my whole mood, because I had to battle something completely different. It's like, if what's worse, a broken finger or a broken arm, and then you kind of deal with things in this kind of, like, what's order of importance. So I don't feel like rejuvenated. I'm just kind of like redirecting myself, and in kind of bewilderment on how much some some part of me just crashes so bad, and I'm like, well, maybe and I made sure that I didn't have any triggers or anything of that sort. But still, even without triggers, I triggered myself. Great. I, like I pulled the pin on my own grenade, and I kind of like left it. So that's disappointing. I don't think that's fantastically new information, but to see it and experience it in real time, and then and I tried to drink myself out of the mood, which I did, but then it had its own terrible issues afterwards. So it's like, was it worth it? And I'm like I didn't want to be in that mood, and I didn't want to get into the situation I was in either. Like, two things happened that I didn't want, and I didn't want one to support the other, and it's just crazy. So now I'm trying to think in a neutral way, trying to kind of get myself focused on what I want to do next, and then kind of leave it at that right now. And I've got a lot of other things I have to kind of deal with on my mind, but trying to stay on target. And it's hard to stay on target when you lose focus. And then not being able to work here or come here makes me forget that this exists. So it's like everyone, like out of sight, out of mind. My apartment's a mess. I've done a lot of art at home, but it's taken over my place. So, and there's pressure to kind of do the work. And the work, as some of it, has been pretty good. I at least made some progress with it. But I need to kind of like now, before I do too much there, to start bringing it back here and to hang it up, or at least, work on it on a different level. Because like now I have to put like fix-it spray and all this other stuff. So now I have to go into the backyard on a cold day and try and like, I don't know, the neighbors are going to see, who cares, but to start like fixing up the pictures that I have, which will take its own time. But now I'm like, but it's like cluttered. It's like now I don't have my personal space. Now I got to deal with like public space, and then the more work I make at home, the more I have to transport back here. This is just a very like, I know I don't put up pictures and visual aids because I'm not doing that. This is like, this is my punk vlog. Everybody's polished. I make sure this is very unpolished. But dealing with all of it and kind of like push and pull sort of thing. And, I have this, good concept. I want to fulfill this concept that I have ahead of me. I need, some buckets of white paint. It's relatively, it can be done relatively, done in a short period of time. I just need the green light to make sure that I can work on a certain area while everybody's working on another area. So like, it's kind of like, well, are you done here? Okay. If you're done with the living room, can I work there now? You could do whatever you want in the bedroom, whatever. It's like working around your house being renovated. It's like, well, you got to piss in a bucket for 6 months, but you could make yourself cocoa in the kitchen. So it's like, and do a whore bath in the sink. Whatever. Who's even listening? Are you listening to this? Are you that bored? Am I that bored? So yeah, I was gonna split this up over like 3 different videos, but like I'm not in the mood because yeah. But yeah, it's funny how like, one day it's this and one day it's that. One day it's like I was ready with this whole other story and itinerary. And now it's just like, no, we won't do that today. We're going to talk about this now. And I don't even want to talk about what I wanted to talk about again. So, yeah. Let's try to just stay focused. And I don't even know when, I guess I could start publishing things tomorrow, maybe. I don't know. I got banned for like a week. And supposedly midnight. I don't know. Tomorrow, whatever. But yeah, it's vexing me. because then I got to put up a whole nother bunch of videos. I got to recharge this battery anyway. All right. Oh, we're at the marker. All right. Yeah. All right. Like